Hey, what's up everybody? Hope you're all doing well. Halloween is just around the corner. Actually, that's a lie. I've lost track of time and also $70. Thank you, drunk me, and you are welcome, sober Christine. But in the spirit of Halloween, I'm still going to be doing a spooky movie, and I'm also going to be redubbing the tuna can the tuna corn. Actually, no. We're gonna do the tuna corn, no copy. Actually, we're gonna be doing the tuna bell, because it's way closer to Christmas than it is Thanksgiving. And there it goes. Hey. And the movie I'll be digging into will be 13 Ghosts, the critically forgotten, extremely post-9/11 film starring everyone's parents' favorite autistic detective, Tony Shalhoub. Just FYI. This being a Halloween movie, it was expected to be released in October 2001. And the month before that was September 2001, and 11 days into that, okay, you know where I'm going. So, you know, it wasn't the most optimal time for a horror movie to be released, which proved to be just the case at the box offices. Audiences didn't really want to see 13 Ghosts when they already had 2,606 fresh ones roaming around the streets of New York. So the movie came and went, but not before an entitled group of whiny baby critics got their greasy, fat fucking fingers on it and dismissed it as a very bad trash movie. But it's got a lot more complexity to it. This isn't a very trash movie, it's just kind of bad. It's got more nuance to it than one might think. It's a great exercise in what Reboot should strive to do, which is to say, something different. And it really does, giving an old film from the 60s era that was made almost entirely for the gimmick of bootleg 3D glasses and probably a tax write-off, a new chance at life through the means of the cast's performances, set and costume design, and of course the lore and world building. But before I get into what makes this film so good, I'm going to go ahead and do my best to explain the plot of the film. And this is going to have some spoilers. For those of you who are wanting to watch this solely based on my previous 376 words, watch out. The movie starts where all great movies begin, a garbage dump, introducing us to our first main character, a very clearly coked out Matthew Lillard, who's playing an epileptic psychic on his last job getting the 12th ghost for his clearly evil boss, F. Murray Abraham, a man who only has 11 ghosts and wants one more to make it 12. Taking a page right out of the Workforce Solutions handbook, they decide to trick the 12th ghost into a small cubicle contraption, but not before the evil boss seemingly dies on a car. Smash cut to Tony Shalhoub and his two kids, who recently suffered the loss of their mother to the sounds of a fire. Pulling the plug on his marriage and wife, Tony Shalhoub finds himself in a lot of debt. Because he's not employed, I guess?
Get a job, hippie!
Luckily, a lawyer comes in the nick of time, and with him brings a mysterious laptop with a spooky screensaver. Turns out the evil boss is Tony Shalhoub's uncle and has gifted him a key to your new house. What? Elated, they make their way to the house only to find that it's made out of glass. Also, Matthew Lillard is there again, posing as power guy. They get in the house, things happen in the house, people live there, people die there. Evil boss man is alive, evil boss man dies. And in classic early 2000s fashion, the movie ends with a snarky quip, "This was not in the job description, I quit!" and a rap from the black character. Now, you may be saying, but Kyle, that doesn't sound good at all. I mean, great synopsis, it sounded so sophisticated and well written, and you have such an amazing vocal presence, but I have to say, as far as the plot goes, truly horrible. To which I would reply, very odd thing to say, but thanks, very sweet, and maybe you'd blush, maybe we'd go on a date, I don't know, I can only see so far. But that's just the surface level for this movie, and even in terms of that, if you watch the movie, you would understand that the cast is what makes the movie work. Matthew Lillard, for example, just goes crazy each time he's on screen, and that's not just from his seizures.
Gonna get you some help.
Get off me!
He's got some great line delivery.
Did I just say there's a petting zoo downstairs? No!
And goes over the top in the best possible way.
God! I hate it when they do that!
He's energetic and seems to be heartfelt about his character.
I'm a little bit of a freak! I touch somebody and a whole life full of shit just flashes in front of my eyes. Alright, so yeah, I'm depraved. And Cyrus is my friend and he accepted me, so...
And it's probably the only one that actually has a fully fleshed out arc. Okay, he's got a redemption-like arc, so that's kind of... F. Murray Abraham is also really good too. He plays a menacingly eccentric villain who's being evil for no really good reason. Noted. Even the egotistical nature of the character is vividly shown through Abraham's portrayal.
The world has no time for little people like you. It needs people who are willing to do anything for greatness.
But in my opinion, the standout performance of the movie has gotta be...
Damn it! Bobby. The third time I've tripped on that stupid scooter.
Tony Shalhoub, which I know is not the popular opinion according to the single comment I found. Miscast is what I see, misunderstood is what I saw. He really sells the movie for me. The rest of the cast are good, like I've said, but Tony Shalhoub brings the film its charm and awkwardness that sets it apart from other movies from that 2000s era.
My dad said he squandered the family fortune.
We have a family fortune?
Well, no, Cyrus squandered it.
There is a sense of genuine sadness and humor he brings to the character. For every line of his dialogue, his sarcastic wit perfectly shines through.
Samurai sword.
Bobby, in your dreams, pal.
It's very similar to his role in Monk, which interestingly enough came out the following year.
Where are you gonna put the garbage?
I got it all figured. When this truck's full, we'll drive it into the bay. Then come back, get another truck, keep driving them into the bay. One bag at a time, one truck at a time.
It almost seems like he took chunks from his Monk performance and injected him into his 13 Ghosts character. His line reading, his mannerisms, even what he's wearing, may as well be the same character. His performance alone is just what made me give a closer look to this movie.
Arthur, I used to hunt ghosts with your Uncle Cyrus.
Goats?
Him and the 13 Ghosts, obviously.
It's interesting, the ghosts.
Their design and the design of the house is truly incredible. Each one of the ghosts was specifically designed by someone important who did several other famed creepy creations that I cannot recall at this moment, but since I can just research that name before I record this, I can go ahead and just say it. Each one of them is unique in their reasons of being there and their motivations, which are only revealed in the special features portion of the DVD. DLC is not the most ideal way to present important plot elements to your movie, but nevertheless, the creativity is still there. The presentation of the house is quite unique when compared to other films of the same genre, cleverly subverting the classic trope of the haunted mansion motif into an instead mansion-like contraption that has its own purpose within the story.
We're in the middle of a machine designed by the devil and powered by the dead.
And changes periodically, releasing each of the ghosts separately. Sure, the release structure doesn't really make sense, but I still love that it's using elements of a plot that are more typical of an adventure film rather than a horror story. The house never fully settles into a particular state. It continuously changes, but still looks the same, and it's not just poor direction. The editing? Okay, you got me on that one. That's pretty crazy wild. Each turn the character takes within the labyrinth-like structure never fully allows them nor the audience to a sense of familiarity, instead favoring the natural claustrophobia of the corridors. And a lingering feeling of dread, uncertain as to if the jackal will be waiting for you in the next hallway, or the house taking the term two-piece suit literally. Now you might be saying, jackal? What the fuck is that? Actually, who are all the ghosts? To which I would say, thank you for helping me transition into the next part of the video. This is one of the least divisive things for the fans of the film, because all of them are very cool, and like I said before, they each have their own unique backstory, all of which can only be found on a DVD Extras tab. But still, the facts remain that the screenwriters decided to go above and beyond when creating them, giving them their own unique look and very own personality, which is impressive, especially when you factor in what they had to work with. They barely touch on any of the ghosts' backstories, but when they do, it always stands out.
They only killed 9 people. There's 40 victims here.
9 when he was alive. He's added a few since then.
And like I said before, not all of them have bad intentions, but the audience doesn't know that, so it always allows room for tension in every scene.
Okay, what? Shut up.
Also, for whatever reason, they decided to make an entire world for this 90-minute movie where psychics, ghost hunters, and ghost-busting pacifists are like commonplace. The world feels lived in by these characters, and besides the family, they all seemingly have long-standing relationships.
Carrying around those ridiculous quicksilver flares? You still have that quaint little magical book?
The technology of this world is also interesting too, like the ghost box traps, or the ghost sight glasses, which, well, they let you see ghosts. Sometimes the plot doesn't make the most sense.
Son of a bitch!
And sometimes the character motivations don't clearly add up.
I killed Damon. I stole his spells. I even made sure your pathetic nephew didn't get himself killed.
But the sheer ambition of this movie's aspirations are something to be admired. Again, look what we're working with. One of the ghosts from the 60s movie was literally just a lion. And how about the main antagonist? How do they decide to resolve that plot thread? Is it me and my generation's desensitized view of the world that makes us believe old things are bad? The creators of 2001's 13 Ghosts seem to be fans of the original, or at the very least, know it exists, and even incorporated several similarities to it, none of which feels studio mandated. Not once do they look at the camera and say some stupid shit like, 13 ghosts? And you hunted them all? What are you, like the Ghostbusters? Sounds like some stupid plot from a 60s movie. It's definitely an interesting route they chose to take when rebooting this property, and honestly, something other movies should strive to do. Not doing the same exact story, but with better effects. Instead, follow a loose outline of the story with their own style and try new things out. Also, practical effects help. Everybody loves practical effects. And by the way, I'm not against making fun of what you're adapting, but when you do it, be funny instead of something like,
What's your name again?
Dr. Otto Octavius.
Wait, no, seriously, what's your actual name?
go fuck yourself. You're alienating the fans of the original in the most boring way possible.
Wait, no, seriously, what's your actual name?
13 Ghosts is a great reboot movie that decides to do its own thing rather than continuing the reboot tradition of same thing but new. The performances of the cast make this well worth a watch, but the added lore and practical effects are what keep it watchable and even kind of relevant. It has ironically funny scenes, but also genuinely funny ones.
I told them not to leave this spot.
They're kids, what do you expect?
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Phil.
And somehow, after 20 years, a forgettable movie has somehow done the impossible and found a following. Is it a perfect movie? Of course. Not. But that's what makes it good. Also, check out the director's only other movie, Ghost Ship. Kind of a piece of shit, kind of terrible, but it's got a really cool scene in it that almost makes it worth it.